Welcome to the Hellmouth. Hope everybody's 5x5. This is Major Slayage, Ket and Arik, Rewatch, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My name is Arik, and to my right, your left, my gorgeous, hilarious, brilliant, talented wife and co-host. You know her as half the powerhouse duo that is Kim and Ket. Stay alive, maybe. Give it up for Ketrin Porter.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. I like this too. Actually, this was a hand-me-down gift from our good friend Namdi. He had buckets and buckets and buckets of clothes that were taking up space that he never wore. I recently have lost a bunch of weight, and he's like, I think some of these might fit you. Do you want to go through my clothes before I give them away? And this was one of my finds. So thank you, Namdi.
Quality. I'm like seeing now that it's like actually.
He's a fantastic dresser. He's much more stylish than I am, so my wardrobe got a huge upgrade. So again, thanks, Namdi, and thank you, Kim, for bringing Namdi into our lives.
I am in a tie-dye sweatsuit from Old Navy.
Well, you look very comfy and very cozy and very cute.
Thank you. It's very, very cold.
It is
unlike
cold.
It is in Sunnydale, which they remind us of no less than 20 teen times.
Sweatydale, I think Cordelia calls it. Yeah, so we're talking about Buffy Season 3, Episode 10, Amends, which is their Christmas episode. We did our Christmas episode when it came out at Christmas time, which was earlier this season, so we're not really set up for Christmas here. Probably could have thought about that, planned it a little bit, but we started the show April 1st last year and have just been going every week since, so this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So no Christmas for you.
It's Christmas all year. You can keep the Christmas spirit alive all year long.
You won't be one of these bastards who says Christmas is once a year and it's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just gotta want that feeling.
And you can bookmark this episode to watch it next Christmas.
That's true. Yeah, we'll remind people that this exists. What did you think of this one?
I'm not nuts about it. I love all the characters enough. It required some heavy lifting from someone who does not have all of the tools in their toolbox.
Spoiler alert, David Boreanaz.
Yeah.
No offense, David.
It was a lot of heavy lifting from an emotional perspective, and like that's just not really his wheelhouse.
Yeah. You didn't like him at the end of I Only Have Eyes for You when he had to be Miss Newman and he had to be vulnerable and in pain. Mm-hmm. You thought he did a lot of schmacting.
He indicates.
And this episode was mostly him doing that. Whereas that was just kind of the end of that episode. And frankly, I was so swept up in it that I didn't even really notice it. So you pointed it out. Now I feel like whatever you have is contagious because I was very distracted by it this entire episode.
Sorry.
I will say this. I loved this to a point.
I did too.
I loved Oz and Willow.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Xander.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Giles. I loved
Joyce.
Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny was great in this. Holy shit.
It wasn't like.
But then
it wasn't Inca Mummy Girl. It was just like
that last scene. So there's a famous scene in season 1 of Game of Thrones where Robert and Cersei sit down, and it's one of the most compelling scenes of the whole show, and they just talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like goes on for like 7 minutes, and you can't breathe. It's so good.
Or like anytime Sam Reed is talking in Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, there's just those moments where it's like it doesn't have to be a lot going on, and you could just be sucked in. This scene on the hilltop at the end of this felt like it was 2 weeks long. And it was the worst writing in the episode.
That thing that was haunting you.
It wasn't haunting me. It was showing me.
Showing you?
What I am.
Were.
And ever shall be.
Angel's schmacting was really distracting.
Yeah, and the thing is,
I was schmacked.
And the thing is like, you know, to nerd out just for a minute about acting. Like, I understand that like crying or being close to crying is not easy for everyone. It comes, you know, if you're Florence Pugh, you can cry at the drop of a hat.
Or if you're Allison Hannigan.
Or Allison Hannigan. I don't begrudge someone who's like, that's not what I'm great at, you know? So you make a different choice. You make a choice that makes sense for you.
Also, you don't put an actor that you've had on your show for 40 episodes in a position to have to do that for half of an episode.
Right. Yeah.
You find another way. You may have him deal with it differently. You have him deal with it with rage or with being despondent.
Exactly. Yes.
But sort of like
dissociated.
Quiver lipped, wrinkled brow. It wasn't landing
work
for me, which unfortunately I think tanked what was otherwise I thought a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's it. We'll be back next. feel like we've kind of covered it. We've done it. Did you want to do a spell for us?
Yeah. So again, bookmark this for next Christmas. I loved all the Dickensian looks in this episode. Sets, all of it.
You thought you spied perhaps some smoking pope,
Smoking bishop.
smoking bishop punch.
Though there's actually smoking bishop, smoking pope, smoking cardinal.
Oh, there's all of it.
Different kinds of punches
Okay.
that are all. So the smoking bishop is was a very popular punch in this sort of Dickensian era and is even referenced in A Christmas Carol. And Dad and I like to make historical dishes whenever we're together.
What was the other thing we had this year at Christmas?
The gladiator dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
And
cool.
one of the things that I like to do in my witchcraft is you can make recipes that you already have on hand and imbue them with magic based on the ingredients that are already there. So what I did was I took the recipe from, I believe it's Tasting History or History Eats or something like that. Arik will share it right here. But the ingredients of it, I just gave sort of what the correspondences would be that I think would make the most sense for this particular episode, because certain things mean different things and some things mean the same as other things. So you can kind of pick and choose what your particular intention is. I am using lemons for this piece, and maybe in some other spell you're using lemons for another piece, right? So in this particular recipe, we're going to use lemon, orange, cloves, cinnamon, mace, ginger, and port, ruby port to be specific. So in this particular,
What are we making?
smoking bishop.
We're making. I just brought that up. I didn't realize that was your spell. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just. Yeah. Okay. That was fun.
So with lemons, some people refer to lemons as a spiritual broomstick to clear stagnant vibes. So I think that would be very useful for Angel and sort of letting go of some of this guilt. Then we have oranges to attract joy and heal emotional blockages. Cloves can be used for protection, prosperity. Cinnamon tends to increase energy of any spell. Mace, which, do you know what mace is?
Mace Windu?
No.
I don't know it. It's a spice.
I
I'm guessing.
just learned this.
Okay.
So nutmeg is the nut. Mace is the shell around the nut. So they're both from the same thing.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dad just taught me that at Christmas. Mace is for personal strength, and then ginger is for passion, power, prosperity, and lastly, port tends to be associated with abundance. So those are the pieces of what those various ingredients could mean that I would focus on if I was making smoking bishop as a spell.
Right. And so you have to like roast the fruits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. This process is fascinating.
That's why I'm saying, like, I'll put the recipe up, and I'll have the correspondences sort of separately. I'll figure out how to visualize that. But yeah, it's definitely a more there's a lot more steps than just kind of throwing these things into a punch, but it was worth it.
Oh, it was so fun. It was so cool.
And also, like, the preparation means that your entire house smells delicious for hours before you've even started making the actual punch, because you have to roast things and stuff like that. So
you like stick cloves in the fruit and cook them in the oven for a long time. Yeah, it was cool. And so, yeah, since I brought it up, what were the dates again? Tell me about this. This was awesome. We ate these for Christmas. It was incredible.
So the dates were an ancient snack, if you will, that Julius Caesar would throw out to the crowd to sort of keep them satiated.
It was like stadium food at gladiator matches.
At gladiator matches. And they're freaking delicious. I'll try to explain it very quickly. Take some dates. You take some pine nuts and walnuts. You're going to grind those up so that they're pretty fine. You're then going to stuff the dates with that nut mixture and really kind of smush the dates back together so that they're pretty closed up. You then take some, and black pepper. Don't forget the black. So you're grinding up the nuts with the black pepper. Then you're going to take some salt flakes and you're going to grind that into a powder so that now the salt's almost like a powdered sugar consistency. And you're going to roll the dates that have now been stuffed with the nuts and pepper in the salt. So they're now coated with this powdery salt. Then you have honey boiling on the stove and you're going to roll the dates in the boiled honey and sit them aside. And they are freaking
Salt first, then honey, or honey first, then salt?
Salt first, then
okay,
honey.
Cool.
And they're delicious.
They were awesome.
So yeah, there we go.
Fun. That was a really festive Christmas in Baltimore this year. I can't wait to see what we come up with next year. What ancient treats we get to have.
Oh, that's a cat.
Yep.
We have
cats.
I didn't see a cat. I just saw the box moving.
You thought it was a ghost?
Well, I was more concerned for you that it was a rat and that you were going to shit out of your pants.
No, the rats don't come in here when the cats are roaming about.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right. You want to get into this one?
Yeah.
Let's
so
do it.
we open on A Christmas Carol. We're bopping around Dickensian Dublin, 1838.
And as I said in the watch along, we do a watch along on Patreon. We watch these and talk over them before we record the episode. And for me, at least up through this point, I'm watching them for the first time in many years. Once we get into season 4, I'm a little more familiar with the show. Those are the ones I've seen multiple times. $5 a month on Patreon gets you that, and our minisode Trivia Crypt, where we do a little baby deep dive, behind the scenes, fun facts about every episode. So in our watch along, I said we are doubling down on this accent.
God, poor David Boreanaz is really going to take a beating in this episode. I'm so sorry, buddy. You know, we can't win them all. You know what I mean? We love you. You're great at a lot of things. Unfortunately, those things weren't utilized in this episode. So we got a Irish accent from old Angelus Fangs over here.
Well, it happens that I'm hungry, Daniel, and seeing as that you're somewhat in me debt.
I thought looked fantastic. He was dressed. I loved his outfit. I was digging the hair. I was digging the facial hair. I thought the whole thing was working. You weren't a fan of the hair on his chinny chin chin.
No, I was not. You had one of those.
And,
and once again, the stars aligned that Arik and I met when we met, because there were some style iterations of Arik that would not have been compatible with my tastes at different points in my life.
Yeah, no, when you met me, I was clean shaven. I frankly looked quite a bit like I do now, except my hair was spikier. The iteration of me right before you met me was full chin goatee, but no like mustache, just the fuzzy chin and really long hair that like framed my face, came all the way down to here.
It just wouldn't.
And I think dyed red, honestly.
It just wouldn't. It's okay.
You
We
wouldn't-
can't win them all.
That's all right. I the stars aligned, like you said. I got it together just in time.
Yeah, you did. So Angelus is chasing a poor little meek Irishman who clearly he owes debts to, but something tells me Angelus would have drunk this dude whether he
Paid his debts or not.
And
And this guy's accent, fantastic and very authentic, and it just highlights how kind of wonky our
sort of the thing. Yeah, they
Lucky
keep,
Charms leprechaun
it's
is.
almost like I feel like I'm like, is mad at you?
Yeah, were they fucking with? They were trying to launch him
Yeah.
into his own show in a few weeks. I don't think that they were
Yeah.
trying to fuck with him. I don't know.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. We realized that this whole Dickensian Dublin 1838 chin hair situation was a dream flashback, a dream back. And Angel wakes up, he's distraught. So he goes for a walk and he runs into Tiny Bangs.
Oh boy.
So it wasn't just you, Angel. Buffy's hair also was having a tough day.
This was insane.
This was such a weird time. Like, why did we can't blame Buffy. Like, we can't really even blame the hairstylist. Like, people were trying this. People were like,
But
you know what's in? Tiny Bangs.
And even at the time, everyone knew it was a disaster.
Angel is clearly like distractible to Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he says, couldn't sleep. And I wrote, but it's nighttime. This is his awake time.
Yeah, this wouldn't be his sleepy time. Yeah, no, good call.
Anyway, but then we see the Dickensian man appears and he kind of spaces out. Like, he's clearly like not all there. So the next day at school, you know why I think Xander was like, I got to get my shit together? Because in this episode, we really see that like Buffy and Willow have had it. Xander is behind them, just jibber jabbering. They're completely ignoring him, all of his little quips, until Buffy just turns stone faced and goes,
Xander, enough, okay?
and like, I feel like Xander was just like, man, my shit is not playing right now. Buffy's nervous to tell Giles that Angel is twitchy just because, you know, Angel's not like the first dude on Giles's list of people he wants to help. Like he probably, like, the dreams that Giles is waking up from is when Angel tortured him for hours.
Grabbed his nuts in that chair.
It's rough. So I get why Buffy's like, ugh. We then go to our little couches, and this was bold. You were like, well, this is their spot. It's like, no, it's everybody's spot, and also they are fully in the wrong. Cordelia was clearly sitting on these couches. Xander just goes over and fucking man spreads on the one across from her, does not acknowledge that she's there.
Right.
And of course, Cordelia is back in her queen bitch mode, which is always fun to see. But like, Xander is a cock. Like, Xander sucks. Like, it's, you cheated on her and she fell through stairs and was impaled by rebar.
While trying to rescue you.
Yeah, like, give the woman some space.
That's true.
Don't fucking sit right across from her. Find somewhere else to sit. Go to the library. Like, just get
somewhere you're never going to run into her. She's not going to come searching for you there.
Yeah. He says, I don't have any plans for Christmas Eve. And Cordelia's like, oh, I thought you slept outside to escape your family's drunken Christmas fights. And Xander's like, and that was a confidence I hoped you would keep. And it's like, your hopes are dashed, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, like, let's spill all the tea, Cordy. What else did he tell you?
Bidding anymore, guy.
Yeah.
Although I did relate to that. And I said I never did think to sleep outside during drunken Christmas awfulness, but I could have used a plan like that.
Why didn't you like go to Scott's house or something?
Oh, well, by then I was already not living at home. My mom and I had moved out by then.
Oh.
I didn't know Scott then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think it weirdly, it was just normal to me. And it didn't occur to me like I could seek refuge at someone else's house. I could show up at a friend's house and go, hey, things are awful at my house. Can I spend Christmas with you guys? Like, you didn't know that was an option.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. So
a lot of Christmases were, less than fun growing up in my childhood.
But
so
now
I related to Xander.
But now we have Smoking Bishop Christmases.
And we eat all kind of Julius Caesar dates. It's great.
Willow is just kind of saying, like, you know, I obviously don't have plans with Oz anymore.
And I also don't do Christmas because I'm Jewish. And why does everyone forget that all the time?
But Oz then walks up at that moment. So now Waz is talking alone in a classroom. And Arik and I just sat back and went, what's the Zen Buddhist master gonna spill now? Yeah. He's written so well. He's written so sparingly. Right. So anytime that Oz talks, you're like this, because he talks so seldom. And then in addition, he delivers these lines that frankly make the writers look better. Honestly.
I think they give him a lot to work with, but yeah, this actor just nails it every time. And yeah, I'm excited to be enlightened and like have my point of view improved every time he says something.
Yeah. So basically, you know, he's saying, I don't know that you and Xander, like, Willow's trying to be like, it's in the past. And he's like, I don't know that it is. Like, and he's actually very objective about it. He's like, you guys have a really deep relationship. Like, you both were each other's refuges, I am sure, especially during the holidays. Like, even though Willow is Jewish, Christmas is still like that time of year.
Ubiquitous, yeah.
And her parents just fucked off out of town.
Where are her parents?
And it's like, I bet they spent a lot of refuges together.
Oh, sure.
You know, so I think Oz is right to be like, I can't compete with your history, but this is what I do know.
I miss you. Like, every second. It's like I lost an arm, or worse, a torso. So I think I'd be willing to give it a shot.
He's so just the opposite of toxic. He's so the opposite of Xander in a lot of ways. He's not reactive. He doesn't lash out. He doesn't lead with his pain. He really has a big picture view of how he fits into the world and how what he does affects those around him. in a way. And so this was just really kind and sweet, and they hug it out and they're going to give it a shot. Just beautiful. And I thought, because we pick, we do our yearbook committee at the end of the episode, and I'm like, am I just going to use this whole scene as my best line? I didn't, but I could have. It was in the running.
Now we go to Boyce Christmas tree shopping. People who buy their tree on Christmas Eve is so weird to me.
Yeah, our tree goes up the week of Thanksgiving, which is the last week of November. You want to enjoy.
You want to enjoy the tree.
Unless
it's so much work.
Are they putting it up December 23rd and then is they're still decorating when Faith comes over on the 24th?
Yeah.
And then do they leave it up till March? What's the point of doing all this?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of fucking work.
If it was up to me, we'd put that fucking thing up at Halloween.
Joyce would like Buffy to invite Faith over for Christmas Eve, which is so sweet. But we're starting to get to the point where Faith is co-workers. They're not at this moment compatible as friends. They're very different. So,
and that's on Buffy.
Yeah.
She withheld some stuff from her. They're supposed to have a sisterhood. They're supposed to have this understanding of hey, we're in this battle against evil and vampires together, and you kept big secrets from me, which led to me humiliating myself by backing the wrong horse in a big fight. That was so fucked up.
Yeah. And Faith is not one who takes humiliation well. Buffy agrees. She then says, why don't we invite Giles? And Joyce is like, no, never, no. For no particular reason, I don't want to invite Giles.
Giles doesn't like girls. He wouldn't want to hang out with women for...
It's your previous experiences with Giles should let you know that is the opposite of how
But you made a funny point. You were like, it should have been very obvious from Joyce's reaction that they'd slept together. But Buffy, I think, is one in her own fog a little bit. And two, I think doesn't think of her mom as a sexual being. Doesn't think of
Giles as a sexual being.
When grown-ups sleep together and feel awkward about it, it makes them act all twitchy the way she and her friends would. So she just doesn't pick up any of those clues.
Yeah.
Just goes right to the weird dead Charlie Brown Christmas trees.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of trees that in a clump that have all died. And the guy says, I don't know what the fuck. They just all fucking died. Put a pin in that.
So well done, because you clock it, but it's not so big that you're thinking about it the whole time and trying to unravel what it is.
Yeah.
But as soon as it comes up again, you're like, oh, fuck, that was the thing.
Exactly.
It's really well done.
So we cut to some ritual happening with some robed dudes who have runes for eyes, the symbols of runes for eyes.
Tic-tac-toe eyes.
Yeah.
Or PlayStation buttons for eyes.
So we're kind of seeing they're doing some ritual underground, and then Angel wakes up again. So he was dreaming about these dudes as well. Buffy then shows up at Faith's hotel room, and she's got the saddest Christmas lights up, but invites her, and Faith is like, no, I have a super cool party that I'm going to, but obviously doesn't.
Faith rocking a glossy nude lip, very much a sign of the times. I thought it looked amazing on her, though.
Sometimes girls would go way overboard with that look, and they would literally put concealer on their lips, and then
to hide your lips,
yeah, and then you just look deceased,
you don't have any lips.
But also bronzer, and then white lips.
So you're almost doing blackface.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I never wore makeup, so there's a lot of makeup faux pas that happened in the late 90s, early 2000s
that you skipped.
That I skipped because I didn't wear makeup, and so I was kind of uncool in that way. My eyebrows were natural, they were bushy. No, they were just normal sized eyebrows, but they weren't pencil thin. I didn't wear bronzer. I didn't wear any makeup, and so now I am able to look back, and I don't
point
have
and laugh, and
I don't have a ton of
embarrassing makeup photos from the era.
I have plenty of other types of embarrassing photos, but not makeup photos.
But Faith, I thought, struck the balance, because this looked great, because she generally wears a dark lip, and when she shows up at Christmas Eve, she's wearing a dark lip. This really caught my eye as just a very different look for her, but I thought it looked fantastic on her face.
Yeah. So Giles is cooking, and knock, 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 Angel shows up.
What do you think he was making?
I was trying to think of that. I kind of want to do a screenshot of it. At first, he kind of looked like he was making my spaghetti sauce.
Oh, yeah? I thought it was kind of felt like a stir fry situation. He wasn't in a wok, but...
I feel like he was... and the spices behind him. I don't know. We'll do a freeze frame and I'll see.
What's weird though is he doesn't seem to shut it off to walk away to answer the door. He just lets it burn, just lets it cook, and then he goes to get Angel, answers the door, goes to fetch his crossbow, and meanwhile the food is just burning on the stove.
It was on a simmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm writing this down for Trivia Crypt. Giles
What
recipe.
was Giles making?
Okay. So
Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. Giles answers the door. It's Angel. And Angel feels awkward. Like, he's like, hey, I don't think we've talked since I tortured you. So my bad. And he's like, and I need your help. And Giles laughs. And he's just kind of like, this fucking sucks. And
Well, he's got a great line because he says, it sounds funny coming from you. Then he's like, I need your help. He's like, the funny just keeps coming.
Yeah.
Like, which again was almost my best line. I had so many potential best lines
Yeah.
for this. I do question Giles' thinking here a little bit. We talked about this in the watch along. He walks away and Angel's like, I can't come in unless you invite me. And Giles is like, I'm aware. And he comes back with a crossbow and then he invites him in. I would have made him stand on the fucking stoop.
I hear you.
Because now you got to do a whole spell to rescind the invitation. I think I would have. You can say what you have to say from. You're not coming in without a warrant. You know, you can say whatever you have to say from right here. I can still hear you, but my crossbow bolt can still get you if you get too twitchy. I don't know what's in it for Giles to bring him inside.
I think for me, he just assumed that this was going to take longer and he didn't want to fucking let all the air conditioning out of his apartment.
Because it is hot Christmas.
Yeah. Anyway, Giles grabs a crossbow and it was hot. And
temperature hot or Giles looked hot with a crossbow?
Your pick. So, you know, Angel is like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I was in a freaking hell dimension and I was like freed. That's not usually how like hell dimensions work.
Valid. And I was also so glad they brought it up because we never have had an explanation. He just, Buffy puts a ring down. Angel falls on the ring and goes right up his poop chute. And then it's never discussed again. So I'm really glad we're getting around to this.
As he's talking, Miss Jenny Calendar appears behind Giles. Giles cannot see her. Angel.
Looking gorge.
Yeah. And Angel is very about it. And he runs out. He's like, I can't.
I think it's unfortunate because so many of his scenes in this are with Robia playing Jenny, who just fucking kills it. And we talked about how hard it was because she is kind of playing the same beat the whole episode, and she makes it fast. Part of it's well written because I feel like you can literally feel the knife go in with everything she says. She's so biting, she's so cutting, she's so cruel, she's so on point. But her performance is fucking amazing. You couldn't take your eyes off of her, and so her being amazing and then him kind of whimpering really kind of just highlighted the imbalance there. And it just made me miss Jenny so much.
Yeah.
And I just was so glad we got to spend a whole episode with her because I thought she was incredible.
So now back to Dickensian Christmastown. And this is where we see what I presume is Smoking Bishop. That's very much what it looks like. And Angel is now tormenting a housemaid named Margaret.
And he's tormenting my eyeballs with his hair.
Wig. Yeah, it was Bad News Bears.
Like he was like the third hottest guy in a hair metal band. Like the guy who only gets 10 minutes in the makeup chair because he's not the lead singer and he's not the lead guitarist. So you just have to rush him out with his fucking blowout.
And it was of all the wigs to choose. Also, we just saw him with like
a long hair wig that looked great.
And like pulled back. Like it was just a mess, y'all. Like I feel like they were really pissed at David Boreanaz in this episode. And they were just like
his outfit seemed slightly ill-fitting and the colors weren't as good. I compared to that first one though, I just feel like everything was just a few degrees off in a way that the grand result was this looks awful.
Yeah. So blah, 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 tormenting Margaret. He bites her very conspicuously. Like I was just like, is part of the thrill for you to just like do it?
Almost get caught?
Yeah. Which probably would have been fun for him to get caught, honestly.
You guys gets to kill a lot more people.
But then old-timey hair metal Angel sees present day Buffy like staring at him while he kills Margaret. And it freaks out old-timey hair metal Angel.
Right.
In that reality.
This is some Dream Warriors Nightmare on Elm Street 3 where Kristen can pull other people into her dreams because Buffy remembers this dream, but she doesn't remember it as her dream. She remembers being pulled into Angel's dream.
Angel's dream. Yeah. So now Angel wakes up and he's with Jenny in his foyer. And, you know, he's trying now to be like, I'm sorry. Like, what else can I say? Like, I don't even know how to atone for this. You know, and he's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want from me? And she says,
I want to die in bed surrounded by fat grandchildren, but guess that's off the menu.
she then turns into Irish dude. So now we see that this is a singular entity that is tormenting Angel by taking on the form of past victims.
Yeah. So very, very Christmas Carol. This is the ghosts of
Christmas past,
of kills past.
Yeah.
Of meals past.
Now Buffy is telling Giles, I was in Angel's dream. And Giles at first goes, I don't know if that's possible. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
At this point, 40 episodes into this,
of course, fucking possible.
You have to consider that everything is at least probable.
If she comes
plausible.
in and says,
it could be. We have to rule it out.
Yeah, if she comes in and says we're being haunted by a killer banana, like, yes, and
so
like,
I go to the B section of the library, start looking up bananas. I just don't go, no, I'm not looking into that. That seems ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Ghostbusters rule for the Scoobies.
We're ready to believe you.
Buffy reassures him, like, I'm not seeing him anymore. Oh, one thing that Giles said to Angel in his apartment that we kind of glossed over because we were talking, like, that's when Jenny shows up. But he actually says something like pretty profound that I don't even think we clocked in the watch along.
Knowing why you were back would give you peace of mind?
It might.
To be blunt, the last time you became complacent about your existence turned out rather badly.
Right.
He's sort of like, maybe the guilt that you feel is the fail-safe we all need. Xander comes in and wants to help.
I love this.
Yeah, I think Xander was like, you know, I'm a real piece of shit sometimes. What if I just took my foot off the accelerator and stop being such a piece of shit
He's
sometimes?
like, I'm in need of a redemption arc.
Yeah.
It starts now.
Pizza party. I love pizza. I really love pizza. Willow did tell Buffy, like, Oz is coming over tomorrow night because my parents are out of town, you know, but she's like, but it's awkward. I don't know how to, like, you know, prove to Oz that he can trust me. And Buffy actually has like an astute take on it where she's like, you know, he's right that he can't ever compete, quote unquote, with your and Xander's relationship. So it's just about you showing Oz that he comes first.
She also says something that was interesting, which was, and I think I know where she gets this insight. She says, Xander has a part of you that Oz can't touch, which is part of what Angel's jealousy over Xander was with Buffy, even though they weren't romantic.
Crazy, like a 241-year-old being jealous of a high school junior.
I don't love Xander.
Yeah, but he's in your life. He gets to be there when I can't. Take your classes, eat your meals, hear jokes and complaints. He gets to see you in the sunlight.
She goes, well, I know what the Xander math is here because Angel dealt with this.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. So
that's what I'm here for.
We go back to Angel, and he's now being tortured by a businessman who he killed. But before he killed this dude, he apparently killed this dude's daughters and like displayed them as if they were sleeping soundly in their beds, which we also know he did with Jenny.
Yeah, so he's got an MO. He's got a signature move.
But then this guy turns into Margaret and then turns into Irishman. And what we also learn is that, like, it wasn't just Angelus that was a piece of shit. Jenny is like, you were a drunken, whoring layabout and never had the chance to die of syphilis. Yeah. And we get like a quick flash of him just being kind of a, you know, a
drunken fool
in a tavern. It looked fun. You know, this is where we're kind of starting to get a sense of like what this entity wants from Angel, why he was brought back. They feel like, and frankly, it's a good plan. They feel like the best chance they have of killing the Slayer is Angel.
Right.
You know?
Because he clings to this notion that, like, with a soul, I'm like who I was before I was a vampire. And they're trying to disabuse him of that concept by saying, like, no, who you were before you were a vampire was that fucking loser.
Yeah.
Who was going nowhere and was going to die young from a sexually transmitted disease.
And the only thing you've ever been good at is hunting and being evil. So you may as well just do that.
Curious approach though, to go, here's all the victims you killed that it's gonna get you to feel guilty. Like we're gonna rouse your guilt and your regret.
Yeah, but
rather than praising him for it in some ways.
The best way to get someone to alleviate their guilt is just have them ignore it and just be like, well, there's no point. I hate myself. What does it matter if I just hate myself more?
Right. I guess it's sort of like an addict. You're trying to lure him back into using so he can stop feeling these feelings.
Yeah, nothing drives someone to terrible behavior better than self-loathing.
No, that's good. That's really smart, actually.
The kids are still researching, but like they're kind of all like falling asleep and stuff. And Angel's asleep on his table.
We've seen he's got a luxurious bed in that mansion.
I don't know if he's just like, I don't deserve a bed or something. I don't know.
But he's not like sitting at the table and put his head down. Like he's like laid out on the table.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And Buffy is laid out on the floor of the library. And then they have a dream in each other's dream where they do it, but it was very like Skinamax.
Yeah, it was. We got side boob, we got humping and pumping.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
It was pretty intense. And we see that in the dream, old Rune Eyes is watching them, and Dream Angel turns into Dream Angelus and bites Buffy.
Yeah,
so like we're seeing like this is what they're trying to get to happen.
Yeah, he clearly had an orgasm. Soul went bye-bye. But rather than run out of the room, he just goes ahead and bites her right there.
Yeah. So Angel wakes up. Jenny's encouraging him to give in. And she's like, this is why we brought you back. Take her. This is where Giles is starting to put things together, where he realizes these bringers, these harbingers are the rune faces are an ancient power, and they're trying to like bring about the first. Now put a pin in that for another couple seasons. He sees like a sketch of the rune faces, and Buffy recognizes it, and she's like, yeah, I was just in one of Angel's dreams again. And he's like, oh really, what happened? She's like,
let's move past it. I'm trying to make a point here.
Xander then comes in.
We gotta stop him.
I'm not even mad at
This
Xander.
made you so mad,
I'm not
though.
even mad at Xander. It's so dumb.
We have to stop them.
Like, it's so stupid. I don't even like when people do it in real life. It really pisses me off. It's basically like, it's like everything that Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer tweets right now, where it's like, yeah, we know we have to stop them. You're coming in as if you're saying something profound and new. We have to stop.
We never would have thought of that without you. Thanks
we have to stop them? Oh my gosh. I thought we were going to bake them cookies. Like, it's just such a stupid line. And it's a line that you just like give a character when you're like, this character needs a line. Yeah. And it's like, why not have Xander say like, how can I help? Or what are you guys talking about? What did you learn?
What are these weird guys?
Yeah, like literally anything. So I really hate that. And I hate it in real life as well. They decide that they're going to talk to somebody who often has the T on the demons.
I don't think he would refer to it as the T. I think this guy would call it the skinny.
The skinny. Fair. Okay. So Buffy shows up at Willie's and she's like, what the fuck? And Xander is trying to be like, tell us what you know. But Buffy's like, shh. We learn that like there is an entity here that's like scaring off other demons.
Right.
And it's underground, but Willie doesn't know where. So they leave. But Willie was really sweet. He like says to Xander, he's like, I was really intimidated, guy. It was very sweet. And then wishes Buffy a Merry Christmas.
I like seeing this dude. I like that the world feels expanded and lived in, and like this is a thing this is a place we can check in on from time to time. It's good that they remembered that was there.
Yeah.
And we do get a piece of information. We get the underground thing. Now, underground could be metaphorical, but he seems to think it means
that it's
literally underground.
Yeah. We now cut to Oz coming over to Barry White's red light special hearth den. Bless her heart. Willow really went above and beyond and around the corner and up and down and through.
She's got a cute little ice bucket with like a bottle of Sprite in it.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
So the room is red, the fire is red, she is red, her hair is red. It's all red. Oz comes in and she's very much like, here's how you know you can trust me because I want to do it. And Oz is like, once again, the fucking Zen Buddhist master that he is like, yeah, I'm not trying to be your first time because you need to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't say exactly that, but that's the point of what he's making.
Reminiscent of when they're in the van and Cordy and Xander are stealing the bazooka, and she's like, "You want to make out?" And he goes, "I do, but I want it to be because you want to, not because you're trying to make Xander jealous."
Yeah, he wants it to be, once again, not because Willow feels any sort of obligation or desperation. It happens naturally. So said no 17-year-old boy ever, unless you've been on this planet no less than 1,000 times. So he's like, I get the message, and they kiss, and it's sweet, and like he puts her at ease clearly, which we see later, because the next time we see them, we can see that she's very relaxed.
Yeah, she's taken off her come do me dress, and she's got her parts all zipped up in a pair of pants, and they're very comfy.
Yeah. Back at Joyce's hearth, where we're decorating the tree the night before Christmas. And Buffy even says, nothing like a roaring fire to keep away the blistering heat. At one point, Joyce says to Buffy, like, as she's kind of in her own world, Angel on top again? And she's like, duh, what? And we see that she's talking about, do you want the angel on top of the tree like we had last year, or a star?
It was so dumb. I hated this line. It was so forced. It reminded me of in one of the Batman movies, Robin says,
Holy rusted metal, Batman! Huh? You're grown, it's all metal, it's full of holes, Holy!
Oh.
Because they wanted him to say holy something Batman, like in the old 60s show, but it was just really forced and dumb and stupid, and
that's dumb.
Made me mad.
I'm not even watching Batman, and I'm mad about it right now. At that moment, knock, knock, knock. Turns out Faith's party looked like it was going to be a bit of a drag, so now she's here for Christmas Eve celebration
with presents
that she keeps saying are crappy.
I wonder what she gave everybody.
I think they're from the dollar store.
Sure, probably a journal. The one that look like a small book kind of thing.
Post-its.
Here's some Post-its and a sausage.
Yeah,
based on what
or
we
like
can
Slim
see.
Jim. I think that's more likely. The dollar store and the gas station.
Right.
Buffy has to run upstairs because she's like, oh, I want to get your presents too. But when she runs into her room, Angel is there huffing and puffing, all in a tizzy.
Put a pause on that. Do you think Buffy actually got Faith any presents, or do you think she's running upstairs to find something to regift in a hurry because she didn't think Faith was coming?
No, I think she did.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I think they probably were out shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Which we know they were.
Right.
And I think Joyce said, you should get this for Faith.
What do you think she got Faith? Brass knuckles?
Post-its. So Angel's there, and he is like, you have to stay away from me. And she's like, you came to here into my room to tell me to stay away from you. But we see that Jenny's in the room with him. He's really struggling. Like, he can't even like focus. He's looking at like her neck.
And it's like, my eyes are up here, guy.
Yeah. And he is feeling that he's losing his grip. Like, he's definitely...
The only reason he showed up is because there was part of him was like, fuck it, I am going to kill her.
Yeah.
No, I can't. No, I will, but I won't. But instead he just makes like kind of like a face like a baby who has gas.
Yeah, because Jenny actually says, she's like, think of the peace. So I think the idea is that like, you don't have to live with the guilt anymore if you let Angelus back out. And the way to do that, I guess, in this world is like, if you just fucking feed on Buffy, he's back. Which checks out.
Now, but wouldn't he have to be happy to do that? Like what
I think the relief, I think she's hoping that there's going to be a relief in it.
I think there's a flaw in this plan. If she convinces Angel in that room to bite Buffy in his current form, he doesn't get his soul back.
Yeah.
And unless he bangs Buffy's corpse, there's no way he's ever going to get his soul back.
I think she's banking on like the soul, we don't even need the soul at this point. We just need, I don't
Well, she's
know.
lying to him. She's convinced him that this could provide some relief because they don't have his best interest at heart. They don't care if he buys a lie and does what they want him to do. They don't care what happens to him after that.
Exactly. And what they need is for Buffy to be dead.
Right.
So who cares? Basically is what they're thinking.
But it seems like he should have been able to see through that. So he flops out the window.
Flops out the window. It was kind of goofy. Again, somebody's mad. Somebody's mad at David. Yeah. Buffy tells Faith to protect Joyce because I gotta go talk to Giles.
And Faith is like, I don't understand. He's like, no, yeah, you do. You know all the stuff you need to know.
Yeah.
Angel comes here, kill him. We don't need to know the rest of it.
Well, yeah, but I think she's saying like she does say that. She's like, yeah, I don't get it, but okay. You know, I
But to me, it's almost like one of those lines like they gave Xander. It's like, she doesn't need to say that.
Yeah.
You stay here and guard my mom. You got it, Buff.
Yeah.
Would also work.
That's fair. She goes to Giles. She's like, he's slipping, and Giles has, real talk. And he's like, we'll try and figure it out, but like, you might have to kill him again. Like, if we don't find these rune eyes in time,
In the watch along, I brought up, I'm still confused at this idea that she killed him because she didn't stake him through the heart. He didn't dust. She stabbed him with a sword, which shouldn't kill a vampire. So unless it was a magical sword, but when he was sucked into the hellhole, he was still alive. He was doing this and looking at her. He was, oh. So I know like she sent him off to hell, but like she didn't actually kill him.
For all intents and purposes, this was the sword she had to. It was a magical sword, remember?
Right, but we didn't see him die. That's all I'm saying. She knows how to kill a vampire, and she didn't do that. She stabbed him and sent him packing, but
yeah, this doesn't really bump me. Like for all intents and purposes, she sent him to another plane of existence. She committed an act that in her mind meant she was never going to be able to see him again. He was never going to be on this earth again.
Okay.
He was never going to be accessible to humankind ever again.
I'm just nitpicking the details. That's all.
Of like what is death?
What I do.
What is death other than that? Like just no longer having access to someone's soul, spirit, life.
Okay.
It's more Jangel. Just kill her. He's trying to cry about it, and he's just like, I can't fucking take it anymore. And she's like, sooner or later you'll drink her. And he's like, actually, you know what? How about I just go wait for the goddamn sun to rise? Because I'm sick of this shit. Which is not what the first evil, the first evil definitely thought that they were going to be able to break him in a different way, but instead they've just driven him to suicide, and Buffy's still alive. So yeah, the first is kind of dumb. It wasn't a great plan.
No.
I'm not defending the plan by any means.
And it was so smart because I thought he was just going to go like wait on the roof, and I was like, yeah, but it's kind of like if you hang yourself but you could still touch the ground. Like it's sort of like he could definitely get cold feet and then go back inside. So I predicted it without remembering it.
Yeah.
He goes out in the middle of nowhere so that if he does get cold feet, there's not time to get to shelter before. They did bring his big long coat with him. We could have hid under the coat. So I don't know how much he really wanted to die. But.
So back at research mode, like they're just still pouring through the books, and Giles ends up saying something that perks Buffy's interest when he says, wherever these fucking bringers are, rune eyes or whatever, harbingers, nothing shall grow above or below them. And she's like, well, the F what? I know of some pretty crispy Christmas trees.
Yep.
So she heads over to the tree farm. She axes the ground. And
he said, how'd you know that was wood?
Yeah.
Because
it could have been, as you said, it could have been 6 feet of dirt
or
underneath.
12 feet or a mile down. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
So, but here she goes.
She goes down there to find the Goonies pirate ship.
Yep. And instead she finds Rune Eyes doing a ritual. And listen, this was pretty easily thwarted. She just takes her old axe and
knocks them around,
tosses the game board over, whatever you said in the watch along.
I just reminded me of my brother losing Monopoly as a kid. He would just flip the fucking thing over.
Now the first, as Jenny is having a little monologue, a little soliloquy, a little
awesome.
Iago time. And, the basic points are, I'm not a demon. I'm beyond sin. I'm beyond death. I'm the thing darkness fears. And Buffy's response to it is the tone that I just had, where it's like, yeah, you're evil. I get it. This is my fucking day job. Like, just,
you might be the first evil. You're not my first evil.
Yeah, exactly. And, Buffy's like, all right, I get it. You're evil. But then, the first is, I'm with you. The first did not think this out clearly. I feel like this was a test run to just kind of like see what the Scoobies were working with.
Right. Because she tells him by morning Angel will be dead. And so now Buffy's going to go there and
She's
try
like,
and save Angel.
Okay. Great.
Thanks for the
I'll
marching
go
orders.
Save him.
Because
Cool.
what they should have said was either nothing or Angel is home asleep in his bed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go fuck with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
You take the night off. Because then Buffy doesn't know shit and Angel dies. And
Yeah. So then,
unless they wanted her to save Angel so they could have another run at him.
that could be. So now
Jenny turns into a big
hologram demon.
dumb CGI piece of crap.
Jenny and the holograms. Get it?
It was bad. They should have just left her as
Gem
Jenny.
and the holograms.
No, I was with you.
Okay. I didn't know if Gem and the holograms was something that was even on your radar. I realized when I said it.
Truly outrageous.
Yeah. She goes looking for Angel, finds him on a cliff overlooking Sunnydale. Guys.
Pretty fun episode up to this point.
It's a 25-minute scene.
And it grinds to a halt. This scene was so kind of clunky and repetitive that I completely checked out and was so distracted by the bits of dandruff on Angel's coat in certain shots that weren't there in the very next shot.
Yeah.
Wasn't until the end we realized, oh, that was fake snow from previous takes, that they just needed to send a PA out there with a little lint brush cleaning that off because it was super obvious.
It just wasn't great. So
I think that they didn't like looking at this scene, so they didn't pay it that much. They wanted to get through it.
Yeah. So I'm not worth living, Buffy. Yes, you are. Buffy
it's not the demon that needs to die. It's the man.
It's the man. Blah blah blah. Buffy actually does have a line.
Ever shall be, he says at one point. It's like, all right.
She says, "I love you so much," and she says, I tried to get rid of you, or I tried to leave you, or something like that. And she says, "I killed you, and it didn't help," which
she's like, yeah, I wish I didn't love you, but here we are.
Yeah. And so
she's great in the scene. That she really held up her end of the scene.
It starts to snow, but guys, there's some science here. It starts to snow. Crazy in Southern California. Yeah. And everyone says that's crazy.
But I've lived here 20 years. I think it's snowed here before. Like, it's not common. And it's definitely weird. And they act like they do on the news. It was like, cold front snapped through and it's fucking weird.
But which is fine. But apparently that means that the sun's not going to come up all day. And like, I've been in an overcast land before when it is snowing. It is still, frankly, you often still need sunglasses because the reflection of the ambient light off the snow.
This didn't bump me. I didn't mind this as much. Like, if Spike can rub a little shoe polish on his car windows and not get burned up, I believe heavy cloud cover could make.
It was still dark enough that the street lamps were on.
I've seen dark, overcast, snowy days. This seemed perfectly plausible for a Christmas miracle. Like, I didn't mind this. Really threw you there. It's so weird when you're the one in the minutia coma, and I'm just like, just go with it.
Well, I just didn't. Yeah,
really not our usual roles.
I just didn't think that was the thing. But so everyone's like, "Yay, snow! It's a white Christmas," and Angel gets to walk through town holding hands, and he's not burned up. And I guess the first was like, "Well, I'm gonna go at lunch," and then I just wrote, "So, did they win?"
Sunnydale High Yearbook Committee meeting now in session. Who'd you have for best dressed?
Best dressed, I really liked Buffy's red Christmas Eve tank top decorating the tree outfit.
Yeah, no, she looked great. She and really Joyce were matched up. I gave it to Angel in the opening flashback.
Oh yeah,
I think he took a big swing and he looked good. Honorable mention was Buffy's goth mommy outfit with the butterfly top and the silk skirt, the lacy silk skirt, where she's dressed in all black.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Who'd you have for worst dressed?
Teeny tiny bangs.
I did too. I had Buffy's bangs on the street, but then they got better, but then they got worse again. I couldn't track the hair continuity.
Yeah, it was no good.
It was rough. Best if we just
move on. Yeah.
Who'd you have for best line?
Best line, I really liked when Buffy said, "I killed you and it didn't help."
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Like I said, I almost gave it to the whole scene
everything
with
Oz
said. And Willow.
Yeah.
Instead, I doing a first, I gave it to everything Ghost Jenny said. She was just awesome, and I just couldn't get enough of her, and I loved it so much.
She also it's difficult to do what she did, to play this.
It.
Yeah, to play the same beat, to play Arch, to kind of the same tactic the whole time. It was impressive.
Worst line.
I already said it. We gotta stop them.
I give it to Angels on Top again.
Oh yeah, that bummed you out.
Best move.
Crossbow.
I like it.
Because he looked hot.
He did look hot. When he answered the door before we knew who it was there, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I gave it to Xander putting his bullshit aside so that he could pitch in.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a really mature move for him, out of character, and I respected it. And who did you have for most likely?
Most likely to write a Hanukkah song as a present for Willow. Oz.
Oh, I love that. I said most likely to benefit from some good old-fashioned therapy, Angel.
Yeah, that's true.
My man needs help.
I bet there's money in that.
Vamp therapist?
Vamp therapist.
Well, we said Dr. Smokington should have been vamp therapist.
Vamp therapist. That
And,
would have been great.
They blew that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you this week. Thanks for hanging out. Merry Christmas in January. We're gonna be back next week with the next episode, and you want to check some stuff out. We do have a Patreon. $5 a month really helps us out. You get a lot for your money. We post all of her spells there. Minisode, watch along, occasional weird watch alongs of other things. We did one at Christmas time for Repo, the genetic opera. Got some other stuff in the hopper we're going to be doing as well. While you're checking other things out, please check out our other show, Kim and Ket Stay Alive Maybe, co-starring her and the hilarious Kim Burns. I edit and produce that show. That's on social media at KK Sam Podcast. Comes out every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is on social media at Major Slayage Pod. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Give us a subscribe is the weirdest way to say that. But subscribe so that you don't miss when we put stuff out. Leave a comment if you're listening on a podcast app. Give us a 5-star review. Leave a review there, rating, all of that just helps the algorithms push us out to more people. We can invite more people to the party. That's all I got. You got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to say?
No, I just noticed that you wearing all those rings makes it look like you're wearing brass knuckles.
This was Faith's Christmas present.
Yeah.
All right. We will check you out next time. Until then,
Dust you later.